this location is picture book perfect. It's one of the nicest, prettiest landscapes that I've seen in Andalucia. Buena Vista. So what we've got here is fantastic because we've got a lot of choices. We've got the yellow flowers and the almond trees. You can see that you've got a wind farm behind the almond blossoms, so you've got white almond blossoms, white windmills. Above that you've got the Sierra Nevada covered in snow, well, partially covered in snow. So you've got a choice of shots here. You can have a perfectly good one of the almond grove, or you can come back up the mountain. So it's important to get some separation between the almond trees and the windmills. And what I would do here, a wide-angle lens isn't going to do it. A wide-angle lens is going to show you the entire landscape. So from here I would take a telephoto and I would compress the picture so that it will bring the mountain much closer to us, it will bring the windmills much closer to us, and that will make for a nice picture. I think we need to be a little bit higher, and just about here is probably perfect. Talking about separation, it's a term that you hear a lot in photography, and people are saying you need to separate your subject from the background and so on and so forth. What does it actually mean? What it means in a landscape like this is that you don't want the primary components of the picture to overlap. And so the reason I'm climbing up the hill a little here is to get more of a gap between my almond blossoms and the windmills, because you're going to be seeing this in 2 dimensions in a photograph, and so it will be as if there was a pane of glass between me and the image, and this is how you have to think about it. And so separation in this context is getting that gap between the predominantly white components. It doesn't work from down at the bottom. You get the windmills behind the almonds, and that's fine if you want a soft background on a big wide shot of the almond blossoms. That's absolutely fine, but to get this entire landscape and get all of the components in, you need to have that separation. Good start, great. Let's pray that's not damage. I want to take 3 pictures. I want to take the one from right close to the almonds with the wide-angle lens that I've talked about, and I want to take one with 200mm telephoto lens from about there, and then I want to come up the mountain a bit more and really flatten it out and get the entire landscape. There we go, dead level, perfect. I'm using a mid-range aperture. I want to get this sort of front to back, but I don't want it to go soft at all around the edges. So I go for mid-range, usually between 8 and 11 is absolutely fine. Maybe push it a little bit further, but not much. But the idea of going to sort of f22 to get it sharp front to back is a non-starter, I think. Depends a lot on the lenses and also how much detail you're comfortable with, but I prefer to have the picture sharp where I need it to be sharp. And I'm at ISO 100, and that will give me a shutter speed of 200, which is perfectly acceptable for this type of shot. What I do want to do is just check what this is looking like. Now I've got the shot that I want on the tripod, I can't resist doing a couple of other shots. I think of these as safety shots, so I'll take the camera off the tripod and I'll sort of creep around a little bit, probably go over here. A nice shot here, but again, on the wide angle it doesn't really work particularly well. I think that was probably the best shot. I'm very prone to spending hours doing this, so that's a nice shot there. Just take a second and just listen to the bees. It's fantastic being out here because there really is nothing else. There's nobody around here for miles, and it's just me, the bees, and the camera person. Okay, so I'm happy I've got as much as I want out of this location right now. So what I want to do next is retreat, put a long lens on the camera, and we'll start to make the best out of the windmills, which you couldn't see in this shot. And so we'll get back to that idea of having a whole vertical sort of panorama going on. So let's retreat up the hill. Okay, so we're looking to get a vertical shot, and it's going to compress the field of view quite a lot, so we're going to bring the mountain much closer to us. That's perfect. Let's look through the viewfinder. Have I taken the lens cap off? No. Always good to take the lens cap off, I find. That's quite decent. I like that. I'm going to take a slightly wider one as well. That's perfect. Jolly good. Okay, one more with the bigger lens, if we can get away with it. Okay, so one of the things that I like to talk on about, and everyone just tells me to shut up, but I do think it's important, is this concept of deliberation in photography. And what I'm aiming for here is I know very much at least one of the photographs that I'm going to try to take from here, and that's the one from this spot with the telephoto lens. And because I know the important components of the photograph, I'll probably take 2 or 3 with different lenses, make sure that I get one that really works. But then I take that knowledge, that sensibility, what the photograph meant to me, why I think it's a nice photograph, take that into the editing, and that informs all of your editing decisions as well. So I will be bringing out the white of the blossoms, the white of the windmills, the white of the Sierra Nevada. And so this ultimately gets you to a place where you've got an end-to-end process from shooting to processing. And not every picture works out like that. You can spray and pray, as they say, and you'll get some good pictures. But for me, I think the best pictures that I've taken have been ones that I've thought about, ones that I've known what I'm after, and I go out and I really work the place until I get the picture I want. So this is the last setup, and what we're trying to achieve here is a portrait shot, long and thin, and we're going for all 3 elements. So we're getting the trees with the white blossoms, windmills in the mid-distance, and the peak of the mountain. We're going to use a long lens to do this. We're set it round about 135mm, so we can get top and bottom in shot. We're using aperture priority, at least in part because it's so difficult to see the back screen. And there we go. I'll just take another one so I get the windmill blades in the best position. Here we go. There. Okay, I'm just going to take a landscape oriented one. Check that. Yeah, I think we've got it. Thumbs up for the shoot.